Right, today we're continuing with the lesson on how to start a cement block business. Yesterday, I touched on a topic that I called Why Should You Start a Business? If you haven't watched it, please go back and check on my profile and watch this video. Today, we're going to talk about the types of cement block business you can start. There are two types of businesses that you can do. Number one is you buying a machine and going to make blocks for a client on their premises. And the other one is having a machine and then making the blocks on your premises and then supplying them to your clients. So these two businesses have got their own advantages and disadvantages. Buying a machine and going to make blocks to a customer's premises is actually one of the best businesses that I think you can start. It doesn't require a lot of capital because you just need a machine and maybe at least transport to take you to the client's place. And most of the times also even the transport is going to be sponsored by the client because you will be asking part payment before you go and start making blocks for them. The advantage is that the customer will buy all the materials and they will also be responsible for the curing of the blocks. Your job is just to make the blocks and then you charge them per block. This is a very good business because then you can start with a manual machine and then you can travel to your client by using public transport. You don't have to have your own vehicle. You can also buy the big mechanic machine and then this will require that you have yourself a pickup that you can take you to the client's place to make the blocks. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantage is that you make the blocks for the client and the client is responsible for curing of the blocks. So if they don't cure the blocks properly, you are going to be blamed for the quality of the blocks. So for you to avoid that, make sure that when you are making the blocks for the client, you monitor the curing also. Although they are responsible for the curing, but you make sure you monitor. If the people that are curing the blocks are not doing it properly, please tell the customer or the client, tell them that they are not doing the curing the blocks properly and the blocks are not going to be perfect blocks. The quality is not going to be good. But otherwise, this is a much more easier business to do. It's very profitable because you charge per block. So say for instance, the client is building a 3-bedroom house and the 3-bedroom house it will require about 3,500 blocks, 3,000 to 3,500 blocks, which means that in 10 days time, you will be able to make 350,000 kwacha in 10 days time without you putting any capital in the business. So that's why I call it a good business. Imagine you are hired by an NGO to go and make blocks for them. They are building a school which would require about 35,000 blocks. Just imagine how much money you can be able to make. And the second business is where you have to make blocks on your premises and then you supply them to your clients. This is a much more difficult business to do because it requires you to have capital. You need to have money to buy your machine. You need to have a premises to produce your blocks. It's either your premises or you need to rent the premises. You need security so that